Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles. I'm delighted to be accompanied by Ryan Graff with his rather chilling film, let me say, Black Moon. How are you, Ryan?
Great, how are you?
Good for you to be here. But for those that haven't seen it, let's take a look at the clip.
I'm here to help. Where are your parents?
Ryan, thank you again. It was a pleasure having your film part of New Filmmakers Los Angeles, and I absolutely loved it. I can't wait to get into detail about it with you. But for those that haven't seen it, tell us a brief synopsis of your film.
It's a very interesting film. It's hard to say anything about it without giving something away, but the concept is sort of a Twilight Zone-esque, Outer Limits-esque sort of little snippet of a horror film. It involves a tunnel that once in a black moon brings in unsuspecting victims as they pass by going about their business. And once they're in, it's very hard to get out again.
I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, the only mistake I made was watching it by myself because I actually found it, I mean, I can do horror movies, but I found it that chilling. I was like, this is immense. And then I was like, what a brilliant idea. Like, honestly, like a great idea. It's really fantastic. And I felt quite suffocated myself thinking I was one of those characters and I couldn't get out. Where did the inspiration come for you in creating this project?
The inspiration was the location itself. I'm as a storyteller, I'm very responsive to things that come to me, especially visual things. So I actually saw the location and the story just started to percolate in my mind. As a filmmaker who likes to really create sort of an experience and keep it very specific to one person's perspective, it just worked perfectly. One person stuck in this place, and then what could happen in there? Then there were I could go on and on about the little things that sort of pieced the parts together, but it was the tunnel itself that inspired the idea.
Well, Ryan, you created nightmares. I'm not even joking. I had a dream and I couldn't get out of this particular place, and I knew it stemmed from your film. So thank you for, creating these nightmares for us. It was really great. But that's how powerful it was. And, what was fascinating to me most, I mean, I love the whole, the mood that you created, the whole mood, the production. It just felt like, it just felt like you were just in these cross between these two worlds, and how dark it was, and just the music and everything. Like, how do you go about kind of creating that kind of atmosphere and with your team?
Well, again, the location started it. That was the kickoff, and everything else was just sort of exploration and experimentation, finding things that put me in the place mentally that I was when I first saw it. When I saw it and the idea came to mind, the idea, you go and stand in front of the tunnel, maybe it's creepy, especially if you've seen the film, but if you just see it normally, it's sort of like, that's just a dark tunnel. So I went searching for things that took me back to that place where I was when I saw it and the idea came to me. How did I feel? And there's a sense of magic to it, which is part of what we put into the score. We wanted something, not just pure horror, but something with a little bit of magical realism, which is a phrase that my producer, Julian Malgon, coined for me. I mean, he didn't coin the phrase, but I hadn't heard it before he said it. And that really became a sticking point where we were looking for not just horror, but magical realism. And the score really just takes it to a whole other place. So you're talking about different worlds. When the composer, Adam Hill, and his partner, Mari Paul, Adam was the one I worked most directly with. He came up with various pieces, and the one that actually went to the trailer was fantastic for that. But at one point it was just like, well, I love themes. I love thematic music. And I said, I love everything, but I want something, a theme that we can put at the beginning and the end and tie it all together. And we started talking about what he had already done. And he said, isn't there a recurring theme? And I'm not as musically oriented, obviously. And he sort of said, yeah. And he sort of just hummed or went da-da-da or something like that. I said, put that at the beginning of my film. And that was everything to me. From then on, the atmosphere was dead set. It's like that, everything has to work with that now. I mean, almost everything else had been put together, but that was it for me. That was like the epitome of, if you want to know the atmosphere of the film and what I want everything to feel like, listen to this song.
I mean, that must be mesmerizing when you get a score like that, and because it is, especially in this genre, it's such an important part of how we feel in that particular moment of the film. And you must have been really like thrilled that you found it, because I honestly, I've seen so many films in this genre, and you know, the music plays such an important part, but yours was just brilliant. I mean, it was mesmerizing. It must feel good as a director to kind of get that.
It was a nerve-wracking experience. The film took a long time in post, and part of that was finding the right pieces, the ones that worked, and not just sort of accepting what came. And we spent probably a year on the music. He was doing it as a favor. We didn't really know each other, but I liked his work and he was interested in the film. And we went through different iterations until we found it. And when we did, I got super excited. And that was a main thing. I didn't have a lot of experience at the time. I didn't have a lot of money to throw around, but I found people who were interested in what we were doing. And then it just became a matter of, it's until I get that feeling, even someone who'd seen it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times as I had, until I get the feeling it's not quite there yet. And once, you know, we had it when we were filming, I had it when I had the idea, and I had it when we were doing color, we had it when we were doing the edit, and then we get into post sound, and it's like, okay, I still think it's interesting, but I don't get that feeling anymore. That's what we went, and also I have to give huge credit to Nathan Rule and the post sound team at This Is Sound Design, because I can watch the film as someone who's seen it for a few years now, and over and over and over again, different iterations, and I can still get chills when I get on the headphones in a dark room and watch it. I can still get chills knowing every moment of that film inside and out.
Oh, I love it. And you know what I really like about your style too, Ryan, is that like there was moments in there where I it's almost what you didn't show us, but you kind of led to it, that kind of scared the hell out of me. And it's almost where you kind of like play with our imagination of what could be. And
Yeah.
was that something that you enjoyed doing as a director and enjoy obviously for this film as well? Because it really articulated strongly in that respect.
You know, it is. And I always admired some of filmmakers that have come before me, Spielberg, and most of their best stuff comes from limitation. I know I need to achieve this feeling and this idea, but I can't do the thing. It's what, once they had all of the resources, when they started to maybe get a little iffy. And it was first the idea came, and the idea was really based on an experience and a feeling. But then as we were writing it, we started adding in visual elements, thinking, well, it's a film, we got to show something. But then we got to post and we started trimming those things back again, because it's like, it feels better. And the genesis of the idea was not showing, but feeling. I mean, part of it was, in my mind, I wanted, I don't know how well I did, but I think it's a little bit in there, but I wanted to capture that feeling of when you are in your head frightened.
Yes.
And you get the prickly feeling, and you're so sure when you turn your head there's something there. Of course you turn and there's nothing there. Or when you leave a room and you just turn off the lights and your mind plays a trick on you. You go out the door a little bit faster because there's something behind you. There's nothing there. I wanted to try to capture that in the film a little bit.
Well, you got it with me, let me tell you. So, and I can tolerate a lot. So you did well, trust me. Well, I mean, listen, the one thing is, I mean, you know, you can make, once you've made this film, you know, desperately needs audience. Like you need to get people in the room to really feel. I'm just curious, like, you know, we certainly loved having your film at New Filmmakers LA. What's the experience been like since you shared it? Because it's, you know, it's quite an experience to go through as an audience member.
It's been interesting. You know, it was my first real experience going through the festival circuit, kind of getting the politics of it. Yeah, you have high aspirations and stuff like that, but as much as you have these crazy aspirations, this is going to be the thing that's going to launch my career, or I'm going to win all the awards and stuff like that. Even when that doesn't happen, what's been wonderful about this film is people, you know, viewers coming up to me at some of the festivals I was able to attend, or reaching out to me online, just telling me how much they, actually my favorite one, a specific reaction was, I was at a festival just before COVID hit, and we were actually in person. And this guy came over to me and told me how much he loved the film and he was really enjoyed it. And I was very flattered. Unfortunately, I hadn't seen his yet, but I've been meaning to do that. And his sister comes over and she seemed like a very nice person, but oh, another filmmaker. Nice to meet you. Very kind of, this is the thing. And he said, oh, Ryan's a filmmaker. I said, oh, okay. Nice to meet you. What was your film? And I said, Black Moon. And she goes, oh, and I was, that reaction just gave me, it's like,
that's gold.
That's why you make it. That's why you do it.
Yes, no, exactly. And I'm so glad that you got that reaction, because honestly, that's, I mean, that's it, isn't it? That's what continues to make you keep making films. And on a personal level, I mean, I love the concept of the story so much. It was so different and unique. And I was like, I want to know more about this story. And I was like, is there a feature? Is there a TV series? What's next? Like, if not that, what is next for you, Ryan?
I'm specifically with the Black Moon world, there's so many possibilities, but I want to do it right. And me and Julian, the producer, have been talking about it for a long time. We dabbled in the possibility of feature, which is not out of the question.
Yeah.
I was really dead set on the possibility of a anthology series, but I'm kind of thinking as much as it's a fun world, that could be a little hard to really do. I've recently been watching the show Dark. Have you heard of this TV show?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And high concept shows like that aren't terribly common. And I was like, I wonder if there is a supernatural world of Black Moon that can work as a high concept series like that. So there's a possibility. There's a few different things going in the works. I mean, even other short films that are completely separate stories that live within the Black Moon universe are something that we're working on. So I want to make sure it's done right. I don't want to throw the idea away. I think there's too much there and too much value there to just sort of jump into the first thing that comes along, but it's definitely something's going to happen.
I really want it, Ryan. Like, I really do. Like, I really want to know more about this world. And I think it, like you said, it's got so many avenues in which you can take it in and go further with. And I was like, wow, this is such a really interesting idea. And I think it also plays along, you know, some people have, you know, we have fears of the idea of not getting out of somewhere and just that, and then how that journeys from one person to another in Black Moon. It's just fascinating. So, you know, I love you gave us a snippet, but I hope there's going to be room for more. But if not, definitely love your articulation of this genre. It's really exciting. You know, mentioned something about your idols and things that people you look up to. I'm just curious for you, like, you know, is there any advice you could share with our filmmaking audience or people that kind of want to follow in your direction, and what other things you could maybe share with us to get advice you could give?
I'd two big things that, I mean, there's so many things that I've learned and I'd love to share. But the two big things is you got to get out there and just do it. Black Moon, I waited a long time before. I mean, I've been wanting to make films for a very long time, but I finally felt the bug and felt confident about this project. And I got a lot of help. If I hadn't had the help, I don't know if it would have been made. Don't make that mistake. Don't wait for help. Don't, you know, just start making things. Part two is you have to make something that really impresses you, and not just in the fact that you made a film. You have to be affected by your own film. And if you're not, it's a hard sell that you would actually impress other people if you're not impressed. So make stuff. And if you make something and you're disappointed with it, that's okay. Finish it first, then move on to the next project. Or finish it, don't show anybody, and make it again. Yeah. There's so much to be learned. But when you press and push and you really put your standards as high as you can, don't put your standards at getting it done. I mean, that's obviously you want to get it done. But as far as where you're aiming, give yourself a feeling, have an emotional reaction to your own work. Whatever emotion you're looking for, get that emotional reaction.
Yes. We don't hear that enough, actually. We don't hear that enough about, you know, just obviously get out there and do it, but also, you know, just share your content, and people are in fear if it's not perfect or this or that and the other. Like, you know, keep learning and growing and educating yourself about, you know, film and your experiences making the films. And I love that you mentioned that. I know we finalized on maybe there might be something, you know, with Black Moon, but is there any other projects you're working on right now that's coming up?
I'm dabbling in a few things. It's hard. I have 2 kids, and I pushed out Black Moon just as my first daughter was born, so I had more free time. And I, of course, you know, trying to keep money coming in and stuff like that. My wife's been a big supporter of that, but with COVID, she's been able to keep working, me not so much. So things are a little bit tighter than they used to be. But yeah, finding inspiration again. You have to go out looking for it. You can't wait for it to come to you, and whatever that may be. I was actually just thinking about, you know, what has inspired me in the past, and it could be a simple thing as going through, you know, photos and art or whatever, and just sort of, oh, that's an idea, because Black Moon was the tunnel itself that just, you know, that's how I work, and I have to lean into that. I can go and learn about other techniques and how to write a script and stuff like that, and that's a good metric to sort of check my work. But how I get inspired is unique to me, and I have to go out and seek that out. And whoever else is making their films will do the same thing.
But that is brilliant. And honestly, I love that this whole film, this whole conversation we're having right now and film festivals, etc., started with a tunnel. You know what I mean? Like it can be as simple as that. And I think that's so important. Sometimes people think they've got to have all the elements to every part of making a film to make the film. And it's like, no, it can start with this and it can grow. And look where we are today. So I can't wait for your next inspiration. Who knows what symbolic thing is going to evolve into your next creation. But I'm very thankful for Black Moon. Thank you for taking me on that journey. Don't watch by yourself if you get scared. Just pre-warning you, because it got me in the gut.
Don't listen to him. Watch it with headphones in the dark.
Yeah, watch it with headphones in the dark. There you go. Perfect. You heard it here first. No, listen, thank you, Ryan. Thank you for Black Moon. And we're looking forward to seeing much more of your films. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It's been wonderful talking to you.